All right, welcome back, everyone. I've got an agenda tonight. It's Sunday night, not a ton to go over, but as always, if you're on Instagram, hit that Q&A button, drop your question in. Number one, let's get to work. Right off the bat, thank you. Did that extra weekend live session yesterday and got a ton of comments. Thank you. Really makes it motivating. I know. It's one of those things that it just helps. It's like when you're here showing up every single day, which is what I tell all of you to do when it comes to whether you're learning trading or you're building your watch list or you're doing your research or you're I don't know, learning how to do origami. I don't know whatever it is. One of the big things I talk about everywhere, all day, every day is showing up every day, putting in the time and the effort. And when you guys and gals, you folks, give me those comments, it's encouraging. I really, really do appreciate that. So that being said, looking at futures green. Futures are green as predicted. Listen, nobody knows what the overall market's going to do, but reading the news, digesting things, I admit, I expected a bigger gap up. A lot of things go into that, okay? A lot of the reading I do, a lot of the research I do, a lot of the people I talk to, you might be like, well, Tim, why did you expect a bigger gap up in the S&P 500 and the overall markets when you always say no one knows what Mr. Market is going to do? A lot of the stuff I've been talking to people about, reading, researching, a lot of good news out there. And I'll admit, we're green. I expected a bigger move though. I one of the reasons I scheduled this Instagram live was I was expecting to be here with some kind of, big move. But that being said, hey, it's 6:18 p.m. on Friday night. It's a long time till 9:30 tomorrow morning. What are we? We're 15 hours away from the market open. So that being said, let's talk about the watch list. I just kind of want to go over it briefly. I tell all of you to get subscribed, to get on there. It's free, but I was here, so I thought if you're not subscribed, I just thought I'd go over the 5 stocks to watch for this week and why. mRNA, this is one of my favorite real virus plays, and I'm going to lose my page here. Also, on top of mRNA, AZN. So, as I talk about like research, I'm a huge fan. I've been reading Barron's for probably 15 years now. Been subscribing to Business Week for a long time. One of the reasons, I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but love mRNA, also love AZN. They had this front page article on Sarah Gilbert working with AZN on a vaccine, and time will tell, we'll see, but I think mRNA and AZN are the two front runners for vaccines. So great article. Exciting. I mean, I know I joke about this a lot, but I said it on a daily briefing like earlier this week. I said I thought that the worst thing coronavirus ever did was coming to America. Now Sarah Gilbert's in the UK. I want to be clear, but nevertheless, I'm excited. I'm excited about AZN and mRNA as real virus plays. Then the next one, NVAX. Okay. It's funny. Many of you know I go way back in penny stocks. I remember mocking NVAX for years and years and years. NVAX used to be one of the biggest jokes. Every time the flu would break out, and this is, I think this is good discussion because this is interesting, the mechanics of penny stocks. So every time the flu would break out or something would happen, NVAX would run and then ultimately fail. What's changed? I mean, NVAX was a $5 stock this spring. What did it hit Friday? What did it hit 140 or just 130 plus? Let me check. I know it was at least 130 plus. Maybe no 140 plus. So anyway, that look at the chart of NVAX. I mean, that shows you the power of these stocks, and that's why it's on watch. Eric, another one that this is a 5G play. This ties into, again, a topic I talked about this week in the daily briefing about Huawei, okay? And I'm sorry if a little bit if this is review, but I kind of like to give context to what I'm talking about. But, Huawei got booted out of the UK. I expect Huawei to get booted from the US. I expect other Western countries to follow. And listen, I'm not here to talk politics. I say that every single session. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm not here to talk religion. None of these controversial subjects, okay? Simple fact is, if Huawei's out, somebody's coming in, okay? If somebody is going to be building out the 5G infrastructure. And if Huawei's out, if forced out by the government, that means somebody's got to step in. Ericsson, top of the list, okay? They were in earnings last week, gapped up to 52-week highs, closed near the high on Friday. Definitely a week open red to green. HTBX and RMBL are the two sketchy watches. I was actually very surprised by how well HTBX held up on Friday. Nice, decent morning spike, but then consolidated around VWAP all day and closed at or around the highs. And listen, HTBX, very sketchy. There's no reason it should be near the week highs, but that's what happens when shorts get too biased too early. They get bagged, and these stocks hold up. And if it breaks the highs tomorrow, definitely one to watch. And then RMBL. I mainly put RMBL, I talked about it yesterday, on the watch list just because listen, full disclosure, I don't expect much out of RMBL tomorrow. Biggest reason I put it on the watch list is I want all of you looking for these, next Friday. Okay? I mean, if you're under the PDT, if you've got a small account, stuff like RMBL can change everything. Okay? Because if you've got a small account and you catch one RMBL with a couple hundred shares, it's not long. You repeat that, a few times here and there, you're not under the PDT long. Okay, that's the biggest point I want to make about that. So I'll admit, don't expect much out of RMBL tomorrow, but that's what you want to look for on Fridays. I mean, I talked about this yesterday. Monday mornings, which is tomorrow, okay, you better be getting ready. You better be going to bed early, okay? Eating your Wheaties, getting your sleep, drinking your warm milk, all right? Be ready for Monday morning, and then also Friday afternoons. Two best times to trade if you're under the PDT, if you're new. Where's my note? Oh, earnings. So this week, big week for earnings. A bunch of stuff coming up. I've got my notes over here in my Barron's. IBM on Monday, Coca-Cola on Tuesday, Philip Morris, United Airlines on Tuesday, Microsoft Wednesday, NASDAQ Wednesday, Tesla Wednesday. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is we've got a bunch of these tech stocks coming up. What do I expect? Okay. What do I expect out of all these tech stocks going into earnings season? Has anybody been at the daily briefings all week? So anyway, I expect good things, okay? Now, as always, if you're a retailer, if you're a newspaper company, if you're an old line, boring business that no one cares about, you're going to have bad earnings. But if you're Microsoft, if you're Tesla, if you're Apple, if you're Google, if you're, trading related, Goldman Sachs, Virtu, these are all concepts I talked about all week. I expect awesome earnings. So, actually, speaking of Barron's, it's kind of funny how things work. Another concept I talked about was the Bronco versus the Jeep. They have an article on that. Good read. And then I think that was kind of it. I got highlighter all over in there. So anyway, I think I hit my main points. Let's grab some Q&A. And somebody says Peloton. Love Peloton, M. Junai DQ99. If you were here, you know how much I love Peloton. So, what do you think the next hot sector will be? I'm still thinking. I'm leaning towards EVs. Okay, electric vehicles, especially if. Okay. So number one, LaPointe. I don't know how good Tesla's earnings are going to be. It's a wild card. Who knows? But this is what I want to tell you, LaPointe. Electric vehicles have been hot for almost a month now. If Tesla reports good earnings, I think you're going to see a very, very hot sector. Now, as a short-term trader, you react. If Tesla tanks, if Elon blows it, if earnings aren't as good because of coronavirus or whatever, then you just regroup, redouble back, run your scans, run your process, and attack something else. But this is opinion based, LaPointe. If you were like, hey Tim, bet $100, what's the next hot sector? It's EVs, and then 5G. I think we're gonna go again. I'm counting on my boy Elon. Assuming Tesla has good earnings, I think we're gonna have an electrical vehicle run. And then 5G is going to take over in the fall, and then e-education plays. So those are the three things: EVs, 5G, remote education. So good question, though. I like it. So, can you do these weekend lives from now on? This is what I would tell you, Jamie Zixel. Here's the thing, and I know I kind of started with this, but the more you... I don't like doing this. It bums me out because we all know how social media works. We all know how it works. You're supposed to ask for engagement. Social media 101 is comment on my post, like my post. That's how you drive up engagement. You get moved up the algorithm. Okay, we all know how that works. So I always try and kind of avoid that, even though I did it yesterday. Okay, but when it comes to, again, more full disclosure, when it comes to the weekend lives, I tell you, the more you can comment, the more you can like, it tells me that all of you find value in it. And if you find value in it, if you enjoy it, if you're like, man, I learned something, I picked up a tip, I spotted a stock, I got better, then I'll be back. I mean that's the best thing I can tell you. Because here's the thing. Again, this isn't a social media course, but if I went live and there was like one comment and one like, am I going to go live on Saturday and Sunday again? Probably not. So do me a favor, let me know what you think. I mean, good or bad, let me know. So, okay, last question. Good question. What can I use to start learning to read SEC filings? I've got a great resource for you, okay? Number one, Michael Good. Okay, you can Google Michael Good, Goode, aka Reaper Trades. Maybe the smartest guy ever in low price stocks. Okay, so Michael Good, I met him, I would guess 2007, 2008. Many of you might know Michael Good, maybe you don't. Greatest guy in the world, nicest guy in the world. Again, probably when it comes to like IQ, probably the smartest man in penny stocks, okay? He has a course called How to Read SEC Filings, and don't quote me, but I think it's a couple $100, okay? And this is my opinion. If you're serious, if you want to learn something, I don't care what it is. If you want to learn how to mow your lawn, okay, I'm looking at my yard. We got some rain today. It probably needs to get mowed. But if you're looking to learn anything, if you're not willing to spend a couple $100 to learn it, you're not serious. So, again, Google Michael Goode, Goode, How to Read SEC Filings. It's $200 or $300. I think it's the best way. Okay. Now, Manny, if you're too lazy to spend a couple $100 to learn about something as complicated as SEC filings, and I'm not picking on you, Manny. I'll pick on other people. You know, if you're not that committed to put in the time, the effort, the money, you're probably not gonna figure it out. You know, I mean, that's the difference between the people that get it and don't get it. Is the people that are committed and willing to put in the time, the effort, the work, and you know, and show up on Saturday afternoon and Sunday evening, etc. So, all right, great question, Manny. Thank you, and again, have a great night, everyone. I'm back at 8:30 Eastern everywhere in the morning, not tonight. I'll be in bed at 8:30 Eastern. Thank you again, everyone. And again, back to yesterday's post. I really, really, really appreciate all those comments and likes. I mean, it got me motivated to show up here. I do wish futures gapped up more, but it's a long night. We got a long night ahead of us. So, all right, have a great night, everyone. We'll see you in the morning. And we live in the greatest time in history.